raining here in Memphis lately. And it's kind of drying up now, so not so bad. Hey, here's what we're going to talk about today. Let's talk about first performances. I've been playing music with instruments since I was in 5th grade. And I started playing music because I kept seeing these guys these kids, male and female, getting up in the middle of class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they just get up and they were carrying these suitcases and they'd leave. They just walk out. And I was like, how are they able to do that? So I asked my friend, I said, where are y'all going? And he says, oh, we're in the band. And I said, if they get you out of class, I'm in the band too. So next time they get up, I get up. And the teacher says, Wayne, where are you going? I said, I'm going to join the band. And so I get out and, walk with those cats. And I go down there and we go through all the instruments. Wayne, what do you want to play? I said, I want to play drums. They said, you got to play bells first, glockenspiel. And I'm like, I don't know about that. What else have you got? And they said, well, trumpet, have you tried trumpet? And they give me the little mouthpiece. And at the time I had braces. So I put the mouthpiece up and I blew into it and it hurt because of the braces. And I said, what else? She gets out a mouthpiece for a clarinet and says, well, a clarinet or a saxophone uses a mouthpiece like this. You just put it in there and you push down pressure on your lips and, blow into it, see what sound. And I made it, and it made this goose honking sound. And I said, no, that's no good. What else have you got? And she says, well, how about flute? And I said, I don't know anything about flute. She says, well, can you blow into a Coke bottle, and make a sound? I said, sure, I can do that. So she gives me the mouthpiece, puts it up there, I blow into it, makes a nice sound. And I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, I'll play flute. And plus I looked at it and I was like, this can't be too expensive. My dad will go for this pretty easy, And so we get there and I get the flute and everything. And at the time I was wearing glasses, and one of my favorite toys to play with was this thing called an erector set. And an erector set has like these screws that you put together and you hold stuff, you build stuff out of it. It's a metal type of building toy. And so I had the screwdrivers for that. I had the screwdrivers for my glasses to try to keep, this part here attached, because if that gets loose, it just keeps getting looser. And pretty soon this arm, or what they call a temple, will fall off, And so I got this flute and I've been playing it, going on 6 months. Learned how to play all the notes, and we got to get, the band as a collective learned how to play like 3 songs. So end of the year concert. I'm proud. My parents are proud. Here I am involved in something, besides kicking sand on people or whatever I was doing. And I'm up there with a flute. And before that concert, before that first performance, I started looking at my flute and going, man, there's a lot of screws on this thing. I better make sure these screws are tight because, I don't want anything falling off. So I get out my little eyeglass screwdriver and I proceed to tighten up every single screw on that flute. And we get up there to time to perform, and I'm sitting there with the flute on my knee. The lady gets up, she raises her arm, I raise my flute up, and I go to play, and none of the keys are moving. I close them down and they wouldn't pop back up. It's a little spring mechanism. They wouldn't open back up. It's like they're just, when I over tightened them screws, it locked everything down. And so that entire performance, I'm having to fake it. I'm sitting there just moving my fingers like I'm playing, but I ain't really playing. And we had to take it to a instrument repair music shop back then and have them fix it. And I don't know how much it cost to fix it, but they had to straighten everything out where it would play again. So that's the first performance I ever had. And I had to fake the whole thing because I had gone and decided to tighten all the screws up on the instrument. Anyway, that's my first performance story. You can leave some comments down there below. Maybe you've got a funny story about your first performance. Or maybe you got suggestions about what we can talk about, You want to talk about why the seat's so far back and I have to cram my knees in here. Or if you want to talk about why it's the same view, maybe we should park somewhere else and do this little thing. Anyway, we'll see you cats later next Thursday. And y'all have a good one.